4 Mexican YouTubers murdered by cartels. Leslie Ann Pamela Montenegro. In her own place of business, 2 odd-looking men walked in and tried to act natural. However, there was nothing natural about their presence in that place. As a matter of fact, they had one singular mission: to end the life of one of Mexico's most beloved media personalities. They ordered a few beers and left in a hurry right after they had sent multiple bullets flying right into Leslie's head, leaving her lifeless forever. But how did we get here? To understand that, we must go back to the very beginning. You see, Leslie was an everyday young lady who enjoyed social media and all the influence it had to offer. She started out posting daily vlogs about her life, events, and happenings around her, and just speaking freely into the camera. There was something about Leslie, though. She was a free spirit, and that part of her showed in her videos. She was warm and fun, and a lot of her followers liked that about her. Soon after, to take her media personality to the next level, she created a new personality. She would don curly black afro hair, spectacles, and lipstick, and then she called herself Nana Paluca. Dressed as Nana Paluca, she would appear in her videos, and she even began to do makeup tutorials. It didn't take long. A lot of the locals began to resonate with Nana Paluca, and they loved her. Soon, her audience began to grow, and so did her influence. But, more importantly, one of the reasons people seemed to love her was the fact that she cared about the locals and the welfare of people in general. Often, she would dress as Nana Paluca and then take to the street to have a talk with some of the locals. In the supermarkets, in restaurants, even right there on the streets, just to get a sense of their stand on opinions on things. However, what started out as a little outreach program out of the abundance of her heart became a call to something higher, and with time, Leslie's niche began to be more specified. In line with her passions and beliefs, she delved into becoming a political commentator, and often aired her views about the state of the country, and she would also call out the excesses and failures of the government. Like the voice of the people she was shaping up to be, she had the people's support. And so, still with her Nana Paluca character, she would interview people in political offices or close to those who were at the helm of affairs. After speaking with them, she would highlight the flaws of the government and also the ills of society. At this point, it seemed like what she was doing was noble, and by far, Leslie seemed to be getting more and more successful by the day. She even had her own restaurant. But little did she know that her influence had gotten the attention of people she would rather not want to know about her. But sadly, it was too late. The independent cartel of Acapulco had gotten whiff of the famous YouTuber, and they hated that she was opening the eyes of the locals to the ills of the society, the ills from which they benefited from. This cartel was one of the most powerful, ruthless, and deadliest in all of Mexico. They had ties to almost 100 murders and were deep in the hems of affairs. They had the police and the politicians in their pockets and were feared all around the country. It all came crashing down for Leslie when in 2018, while she was working in her restaurant, 2 men walked into the establishment like every other person and ordered a couple of beers. They sat quietly, and soon suspicions around them began to diminish. But as soon as Leslie showed up to attend to something, they pulled out their guns, which they had been concealing, and shot her multiple times in the head before running away. As soon as news of Nana Paluca's tragic demise reverberated through the online community, her followers were left grappling with a profound sense of loss. The once vibrant and colorful world she had created on YouTube now felt dimmed, overshadowed by the harsh reality of violence. El Compa Jorge.
¿Qué show, mi gente? Le doy la bienvenida a mi canal. ¿Qué show, mi gente? Le doy la bienvenida a mi canal. ¿Qué show, mi gente?
All he wanted to do was to post simple, everyday vlogs and show bits of his personality and passions to the world. But in time, just as he found his media personality niche, everything came tumbling down. Known affectionately as El Compa Jorge, he started his journey with everyday vlogs, sharing snippets of his life, his passions, and his charismatic personality with the world. Jorge's channel blossomed into a hub of storytelling, showcasing the happenings of his life. Soon, as his subscriber count skyrocketed, so did a new love for luxury cars. The streets became his runway, featuring the sleek curves and powerful engines of the most exotic vehicles. With newfound fame, Jorge's lifestyle transformed into one of opulence and grandeur. However, beneath the dazzling facade of his videos lurked the shadows of Culiacán, a city where excess could draw the attention of those who operated in the shadows.
Sending shockwaves through the state of Sinaloa and its capital city, now under siege by drug cartels.
In 2021, tragedy struck when Jorge found himself the target of a kidnapping, a nightmarish scenario that unfolded on his way home from a lavish party. Cornered by the cartel, Jorge was interrogated about the source of his wealth. In desperation, he explained his success through media persona and a humble tortilla shop. But the cartel, fixated on the shared surname of a deceased cartel leader, Julio Beltran, remained skeptical. Despite Jorge's pleas of innocence, they eventually released him, but the encounter left a chilling mark on his life. However, in a bold move that would change everything, Jorge, determined to stand against the shadows that threatened him, documented the ordeal on a YouTube video. He revealed the very spot where he was abducted, exposing the raw reality of the dangers he faced. Little did he know, the act of defiance would seal his fate. April 18, 2022, a day that cast a shadow over the life of his family. Jorge was just leaving his home after doing one of his many videos when he faced an unpleasant surprise. In the blink of an eye, a car full of armed men pulled up, and before he could make a move, they opened fire on him, sending bullets into his body multiple times. The city mourned the loss of El Compa Jorge, but his legacy echoed in the digital realms he once ruled. The vibrant colors that once adorned his videos were replaced with somber tones, a reflection of a life cut short by the harsh realities of Culiacán. In the wake of his demise, questions linger about the cost of fame, the perils of defiance, and the unyielding power of those who operated in the shadows. As the sun set over the city, the story of El Compa Jorge became a cautionary tale, a narrative etched into the collective consciousness, a stark reminder of the thin line between the allure of the spotlight and the perilous shadows that could consume even the brightest stars. Juan Luis Lagunas Rosales. The vibrant streets of Culiacán, where tales of adventure and notoriety echoed in the air. In the midst of it all was a character straight out of a wild movie. Juan Luis Lagunas Rosales, better known as El Pirata de Culiacán, the Pirate of Culiacán. Now, let me tell you, this guy wasn't your average Joe. Born in the same hometown as the infamous Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, it was like he had a front row seat to the theater of the absurd right from the get-go. Seeking brighter horizons, Luis moved into the neighboring city of Culiacán, determined to make a name for himself. But here's where the plot thickens. Life wasn't exactly a fiesta for him, and our man Luis found solace at the bottom of a whiskey bottle. And get this, he'd chug it down until he hit the floor, all in the name of fun. With no regard for his mental or physical health, he made a habit of this almost every day. Fast forward to the age of 15, and one of these whiskey-induced siestas catapulted him into social media stardom when a video went viral so quickly. Suddenly, Luis was the man of the hour, the viral sensation everybody couldn't get enough of. By 17, he had 1 million followers on Facebook, 300K on Instagram. Basically, he was the internet's favorite party crasher. This guy wasn't just sipping on fame, he was chugging it. He partied with celebs, popped up in music videos, and even teamed up with another big shot influencer Beto Sierra. Together, they were like a dynamic duo of chaos, breaking the internet one stunt at a time. Then came 2017, the year Luis decided to play with fire. He posted a video where he dissed none other than El Mencho, the leader of a seriously nasty cartel with a bounty as big as a jackpot. $10 million on his head, and unknown to the media sensation, this was going to be the beginning of the end for him. El Mencho wasn't about to let this slide, so he made a move. A few days after the insult video went viral, Luis attended a gathering like any other, enjoying himself being his normal self. When suddenly, a group of guys walked in, packing more heat than a summer day in the desert. They didn't just knock on the door, they knocked Luis off the face of the earth, shooting him down 15 times. It was intended to be an overkill, and a message straight from El Mencho never to mess with him. And just like that, the pirate of Culiacán sailed into the sunset, leaving behind a whirlwind of drama and a cautionary tale for anyone thinking of poking the hornet's nest. Until today, the case is still unsolved, but the famed pirate of the Culiacán has been wiped off the face of the earth. One would say the moral of the story is, don't mess with the cartels, especially not when you've got a target on your back and a tequila-fueled video trail on the internet. But it is also about how untouchable the cartels in Mexico are, and how the concept of free speech is just that, a concept. Reuben Ortega. This is the story about a guy who wore a red mask, filmed fiestas, and danced with the heart of his hometown. Reuben Ortega, aka Super Chinelo. The towns in Mexico are usually rich in culture, pulsating with traditions, festivals, and cultural vibes. And in the midst of it all was our man Reuben, a guy with a camera, a red mask, and an undying love for his roots. He wasn't chasing after viral fame or social media stardom. He just wanted to showcase the beauty of his hometown's culture. Super Chinelo, as the locals lovingly called him, hit the streets like a one-man parade, capturing every vibrant moment, every beat of the traditional parties and cultural fiestas. The people adored him for it. He was like their cultural ambassador, putting their town on the map, one video at a time. Now, he might not have had millions of followers, but his small crew? They were fiercely loyal. They'd move mountains for Super Chinelo, supporting him in every venture. His distinctive red mask became a symbol of their shared pride, a beacon of cultural celebration in the digital realm. But sadly, every good story has its twist. Super Chinelo and his infectious laughter and unwavering spirit decided to dive into deeper waters, politics, and social maladies. He wasn't just the town's cultural documentarian anymore. He became its voice, speaking out on issues that touched the very fabric of their lives. And then came the day, August 31st, 2022. It dawned like any other day for Super Chinelo and his family. But as they left the sanctuary of their home, joy turned to tragedy in the blink of an eye. A vehicle filled with armed men, masked and menacing, descended upon them, their bullets tearing through the air. In an instant, the media personality's life was extinguished, leaving behind his wife severely wounded and their innocent 4-year-old son with the haunting memory of his father's brutal end. In a cruel twist of fate, Super Chinelo, the joyful chronicler of culture, met a fate he never deserved. The man in the red mask, who only wanted to share the beauty of his hometown, fell victim to the darker forces that lurked in the background. The news hit the small town like a thunderbolt. The vibrant festivals he once captured now carried a somber note, and the streets that danced with joy mourned the loss of their cultural champion. The red mask, once a symbol of celebration, now became a symbol of the fight against silenced voices. As the town grieved, Super Chinelo's legacy endured. It told a story of the power of one's passion, the strength of a community, and the bitter reality that sometimes speaking up can come at an unimaginable cost. And so, in the quiet streets and under the shadow of cultural festivities, Super Chinelo's memory lived on. A reminder that even in the face of darkness, the vibrancy of culture and the spirit of those who celebrate it can't be extinguished.